Somewhere on Earth, there are trees so enormous they look like something from another planet. They tower hundreds of feet into the sky, outweigh airplanes, and have survived for centuries, sometimes even thousands of years. But hidden deep in forests around the world are giants so massive that seeing them in person can feel almost unreal. From ancient rainforest titans to trees so large they require steel structures just to stay upright, today we're counting down 15 of the largest and most extraordinary trees on planet Earth. Each one is a living monument to the power of nature, and some of them are so huge they completely dwarf everything around them. Let's begin the countdown. Deep within Pacific Rim National Park Reserve on Vancouver Island, Canada, stands an enormous western red cedar known as the Chouette giant. Rising to roughly 182 feet tall, with a trunk more than 20 feet in diameter, this tree contains an astonishing amount of wood, enough to produce hundreds of telephone poles if it were ever harvested. Fortunately, it never will be. The giant was discovered in 1988, long after most of the region's ancient forests had already been logged. In fact, nearly 90% of Vancouver Island's old-growth forests have been cut down over time. Today, the Chouette giant survives thanks to protected parkland, standing as a reminder of the immense forests that once covered the region. Not all massive trees are defined by height. Some dominate the landscape by sheer spread. At Ashikaga Flower Park in Japan, a wisteria vine that's over 140 years old stretches across an area of nearly half an acre. During spring, thousands of purple blossoms cascade downward like a living waterfall. The branches have grown so heavy over time that the plant now relies on an entire network of steel supports to hold up its enormous canopy. When the flowers bloom and sunlight filters through the hanging clusters, the scene below is bathed in soft pink and violet light, turning the tree into one of the most breathtaking botanical sights in the world. 13. Dorner Fir. Hidden within Coos County Forest in Oregon, the Dorner fir holds a remarkable record. At more than 327 feet tall, this coastal Douglas fir is the tallest non-redwood tree ever documented. Scientists believe it's between 450 and 500 years old, which makes its survival even more remarkable considering the intense logging that once dominated Oregon's forests. Interestingly, the Dorner fir isn't the thickest Douglas fir ever found. Its relatively modest trunk diameter suggests that an even taller one may still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Not every giant tree is part of the natural world. Each December in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, an enormous floating Christmas tree becomes the centerpiece of the city's holiday celebrations. Known as the Lagoa Christmas tree, this towering structure reaches nearly 279 feet tall, making it the largest floating Christmas tree on Earth. The massive display floats in the lagoon surrounded by dazzling lights and nightly fireworks, while the star at the top alone weighs more than 2.5 tons. It's a festive reminder that even seasonal decorations can reach truly gigantic proportions. In the forests of Tasmania, Australia, a towering eucalyptus known as Centurion rises above everything around it. Standing over 327 feet tall, this tree is not only the tallest in Australia, it's also the tallest flowering plant on Earth. Centurion was discovered during aerial surveys in 2008 and got its name because it was the 100th giant tree recorded by researchers studying Tasmania's forests. Remarkably, the surrounding area has suffered heavy logging and fires, yet this giant has managed to survive, though it was damaged by wildfire as recently as 2019. Despite the scars, Centurion continues to grow. Deep inside Waipua Forest in New Zealand stands a tree that many people consider sacred. Known as Tain Mahota, this enormous kauri tree rises nearly 170 feet tall with a trunk circumference of around 62 feet. For the Maori people, the tree represents Tain, the god of forests and birds. Visitors often describe feeling an overwhelming sense of awe when standing beneath its massive branches. Because the species is threatened by a soil-borne disease, strict rules are in place to protect it. Even approaching the tree requires visitors to clean their shoes to avoid spreading contamination. In Tasmania, another towering eucalyptus competes among the world's tallest trees. Known as Nemena lateralmena, this Tasmanian blue gum grows to about 298 feet. Aerial photos show it standing dangerously close to areas where logging has completely cleared the forest. Thankfully, local regulations protect trees taller than a certain height, allowing this giant to remain standing. Historical records suggest some members of the species once reached even greater heights, possibly more than 330 feet. The Bhutan cypress, sometimes called the Kashmir cypress, is a tree deeply tied to the culture of Bhutan. While cultivated trees often reach about 50 feet, wild specimens can grow far taller. Some researchers believe that one hidden in the Himalayan mountains could exceed 300 feet, though its exact location remains secret. The species is considered sacred in Bhutan and is frequently planted near Buddhist temples and monasteries, symbolizing endurance and spiritual strength. Another Tasmanian giant, Sir Vim, grows in the Evercreech Forest Reserve. At just under 300 feet tall, it's the tallest example of a eucalyptus species known as manigum. Sir Vim is part of a small group of towering trees called the White Knights. When they were first discovered, scientists were shocked because this species was previously thought to grow much smaller. Today, visitors can explore trails through the forest to witness these giants firsthand, though protective walkways help ensure the roots remain undisturbed. In Jedediah Smith Redwoods State Park in California, a redwood nicknamed Juggernaut lives up to its powerful name. Discovered using LiDAR scanning technology from aircraft, this massive tree measures roughly 460 feet tall, making it one of the largest coast redwoods ever recorded. Its trunk stretches more than 27 feet across, and its total wood volume is staggering. Even in a forest famous for gigantic trees, Juggernaut stands out as one of the most impressive. In the dense rainforests of Sabah, Malaysia, scientists discovered a tropical giant that stunned researchers. A yellow marantai tree named Monera reaches about 330 feet tall, making it the tallest known tropical tree on Earth. The tree is so massive that its weight may exceed the takeoff weight of a Boeing 737 aircraft. It grows within the Danam Valley Conservation Area, one of Southeast Asia's most protected rainforest regions, and home to rare animals like orangutans and clouded leopards. Not every giant tree is famous solely for its size. Sometimes it's what people build around it. In Crossville, Tennessee, a massive white oak tree once supported what was believed to be the largest treehouse ever constructed. Built by Horace Burgess, the structure eventually grew into a 10-story building with over 10,000 square feet of space. It contained staircases, balconies, a chapel, and even hosted weddings. Sadly, the structure was destroyed by fire in 2019, bringing an end to one of the most unusual tree-related landmarks ever built. Few trees on Earth are as visually striking as the rainbow eucalyptus. Native to the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea, these trees can grow up to 250 feet tall. Their most remarkable feature is the bark. As it sheds in strips, bright layers underneath are revealed in greens, oranges, reds, purples, and blues, giving the trunk a painted appearance. Large specimens can now be seen lining roads in places like Hawaii, where they create one of the most surreal natural landscapes imaginable. The Amazon rainforest contains an estimated 390 billion trees, but very few reach extreme heights due to the region's climate. One major exception is the kapok tree, often called sumama. These giants regularly reach 200 feet tall, with some recorded at around 250 feet. Their trunks are supported by enormous buttress roots that can climb dozens of feet up the base, helping stabilize them in flood-prone soils. For centuries, indigenous cultures have regarded these towering trees as sacred and central to the forest ecosystem. And finally, the tallest tree known on Earth. Hidden somewhere inside California's Redwood National Park, a coast redwood called Hyperion rises to an incredible 379 feet tall. That's taller than a 35-story skyscraper. Discovered in 2006, Hyperion is estimated to be between 600 and 800 years old. Its exact location has been kept secret to prevent damage from curious visitors. Even so, scientists believe its growth may have slowed due to damage near the crown, meaning another undiscovered giant could eventually claim the title. But for now, Hyperion remains the tallest tree on our planet. Nature never stops surprising us. From sacred forest giants to trees taller than skyscrapers, these living monuments remind us just how powerful and mysterious our planet can be. If you enjoyed exploring these incredible natural giants, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Atlas Unseen for more mind-blowing discoveries from around the world. And if you want to see even more unbelievable places and natural wonders, check out the next video on the channel. You won't believe what's coming next. Globe showing Europe-Africa evergreen tree.